afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting and riveting and amazing Propagandacaster. Me, your host, Imperial Dane, the one, the only master of propaganda. Your only sanctioned source of community entertainment. Your only pillar of entertainment in these dark times. In the north, it is Kimbo, fighting for America, freedom, democracy, taking on the role here of the 1st Armored Division here with Recon Support, Rifle Company, and Mechanized Company with Infantry, Tank, and Machine Guns versus south. It is Noggano, fighting for Germany. Deutschland forming up here the 352nd Infantry Division, tasked with holding this vital road section for the glory of Deutschland to cover up the advance of ASS Panzer Corps in the nearby vicinity. We got Panzerfaust Double Infantry versus Kimbo here with Mechanized, so it's Osttruppen, entrenching tools, artillery field officers, supply drops, and railroad artillery support versus the Mechanized groups, reserve armor, cavalry rifle groups, mortar half-techs, and combined arms. Double Osttruppen MB42 there for Noggano, double rifle start here for Kimbo, and of course with Osttruppen built you get out a lot of troops fast, you can that way seize a lot of points swiftly on. That said, with Kimbo going Mechanized, and you may of course expect Noggano to go for Osttruppen, he does have a strong counter since without the infantry company, which is most players go for when they go for an Osttruppen build, he doesn't have access to Panzerfaust, and he cannot actually deal with an early dart strike easily, which is, typically the main reason most players don't go for a lot of Mechanized groups, or Mechanized versus Wehrmacht, because of the Panzerfaust. But with Osttruppen builds, typically against giving that's not there, so this could develop quite interestingly here for Kimbo between him and Noggano. Got rifling westwards here, and these got rifling up there. 3rd Osttruppen squad out here for Noggano, committing hard to the Osttruppen. In the west here, we got Harneys moving up. They're caught here with the rifle squad. Need to get the Osttruppen to support here. Need to keep them up here. East side, we've also got to engage with the Osttruppen and the rifle squad here. MD14 to support here. The Osttruppen on the right flank. Osttruppen on the left flank doing nothing. 3rd Osttruppen squad arriving here. 3rd rifle squad for Kimbo. Not going for a dart strike. Perhaps where there might actually be the infantry company and thus Panzerfaust here. And of course, these are the mind games. So typically again, most players do not go for an infantry company when going for it. But again, these are high level matchups. And obviously, there's some the possibility that Kimbo's worried that Noggano may in fact be expecting that Kimbo's expecting not to have Panzerfaust ready, and so of course to avoid that doesn't go at the darter and rush in. So that's there's some of the considerations you have when you get up at these high levels of play here. We got the M4 with Osttruppen pushing for the car plant here, Noggano wielding the Osttruppen aggressively, which is typically what you want to be doing with it when you don't have to spend time, on the training troops with the Osttruppen. You can just call them in without having to build a squad. They just get up faster. And so, of course, also being quite good in cover, like early game that is, mid to late game, they tend to fall off quite spectacularly. You sort of try to wield them as aggressively as you can as your opponent to gain map control there against them. Kimbo taking up, they're going for the platoon command post. Noggano also taking up there. Pioneers reinforcing, could go for a fast like to Mechanized Company. And in fact, we may see a fast flame for after here from Noggano to put pressure and add to the momentum he's got currently going versus Kimbo. So far, though, Noggano's managed to make a successful breach here and push back Kimbo's also laying up sandbags around the car point, further digging in there, wielding the machine aggressively. Is going to try and move into support here. The Osttruppen on the left flank, but yeah, that was a bit of a risky move, since also the gap here, which could have flanked the MD42, but still, great push here by Noggano. It's going to deny Kimbo a lot of fuel here in the early game, but of course securing Noggano a lot of resources. So strong start here. I'd like to make a nice company almost done. And he's not far off in fuel from a half-track, which of course then could turn into a flame for a half-track. Oh, never mind, he is actually going for flame from the Pioneers, being likely a 2-2 here from Noggano. Not a bad choice either. Not a bad choice either, but a flame for half-track could also have quite an impact. But obviously it may be here that Noggano is worried about the possibilities of other light vehicles, which could of course leave his flame for half-track in a bad state. MD4 sitting up, trying to stop with time, but it's pretty risky here. Once the MD42's first pursuit. Oh! No, he stops out in front of it. Kimbo there, perhaps a misclick, perhaps some other mistake that I'll wait. Has to retreat in the end nonetheless. Pioneers from the other Flammenwerfer. Moving up the west side here, going to try and threaten here. Noggano's fuel. 2-2 on the way there for Noggano. And for the 352nd Infantry Division here, as the 1st Armored Division finds initial forays into this area, ambushed by a vicious counterattack by Noggano. Lieutenant moving up the east side here. Rifle squad there falling back. Rifle squad moving through the centre. Back here also reinforcing. Pack 2-2 on the way there for Noggano. They'd like to punch Spearwagon. Pioneers are burning through the rifle squads with swift speed. Machine gun there routed in the end. Bit risky there, 2 months by Noggano. Could have lost the MD42, which is typically a very, very bad thing for the Wehrmacht to lose the MD42 and hand it over to the opponent. But there you go, armoured car for Noggano. The German army. 2 Osttruppen squads being dispatched here to defend, recapture the fuel point there from Kimbo and the Americans. 5th cal on the way there for Kimbo to help further deal with the troops and of course put pressure on the light vehicles. There you go, armoured car catching the rifle squad here, pushing it down to almost half health here. Pursuing aggressive on the west side, we get Osttruppen with the echelons. Rifle squad there down to a very weak position. Also becoming risky for Kimbo to retreat. The rifle scorch, the 2-2 actually has a decent chance to get a wipe here on the mass retreat. So there you go, Kimbo retreating here. If the 2-2 is good to keep up pace, and it may not be. Do some slight awkward there in pathing, but nope, the awkwardness does not appear, but even then, might not have been fast enough here. 5th car sitting up here, and there you go, the rifle squad does survive. Close one there for Kimbo though, close one. Knife and fire going here, Noggano's base. Probably going to see a medic bunker soon here to provide healing for his men. Or he may just decide the Osttruppen are not worth it. That's not impossible. Going about the east side, the other lieutenant was the 2-2. Lieutenant not being equipped with the bazooka there under Kimbo's command. These inside being before 2 again, wielding it aggressively. West side is secured with the Osttruppen. Ground west, oh, not securing that. In fact, pushing further ahead here with the Osttruppen. Back here we got another MG42 there for Noggano. Interesting choice at this time here to go for another MG42. Obviously help us all the infantry, provides more anchor points, and can provide more firepower for the Osttruppen, obviously. But I feel like an officer of Pentagon this squad has been quite a good pick here for Noggano at this stage. But I'm not going to say another MG42 is a bad pick at all. 2-2 moving up here, quick flank the 5th cal and push it out. And yes, indeed, quick kill there on the gunners. West side, the Osttruppen routed. Westfield is once more wide open. They got a depleted Osttruppen squad. They're trying to defend it. But I think that's going to be a bit optimistic. There we go. Rival squad continues with the momentum here against Noggano. His center's about to swept away as well. Kimbo just launching assault after assault, just pushing away there. And Noggano is powerless to stop him. MD4 sending up here. In fact, that may just be what stops him. Yes, indeed. Close one there, though, for Noggano. He almost lost his carb pump. He's about to lose his fuel point. And also reinforcing. Machine gun there. Could try and go for deeper move and go for the 5th fuel point there. That obviously has a lot of risks involved. Bunker up there for Noggano. Guess he had to start to feel sorry for the Osttruppen. I just figured they were dying too fast. Herr Oberleutnant, the Osttruppen, they are dying really, really fast. Maybe we should give them some new medical support. Really? I guess. 5th Cavalry on the centre. Up north here, troops reinforcing. Mechanized command there for Kimbo for the 1st Armored Division. Summoning support from Battalion Command. 2-2 being fixed up. Osttruppen there falling back in the west. MG42 in the centre here. 5th coming up. Fun fact about German infantry doctrine or German army doctrine is actually centered around aggression. The defense was actually considered a temporary state in the German army. You should generally always look to attack and keep your opponent under pressure. That is actually a very critical element to understand about German army doctrine. Of course, German infantry doctrine further emphasized this back being built around the stormtroopers of World War I. That was basically the German infantry doctrine. It was basically just stormtrooper doctrine from World War I. So, little fun fact there. And it's typically not something you actually hear a lot. I figured you would, actually, since that's a kind of a big deal. Anyway, still light tank on the way there for Kimbo. Sandbags up here for Noggano, but decent fuel pond. Again, looking to deny Kimbo the fuel, but of course getting more of his own. You could actually, I think, go for a pretty fast deployment call possibly here versus Kimbo. And with the supply drop, you could actually call in a 50. Another machine gun plus a Pack 40. Get more resources and then make the leap, I think, for a, say, reasonably well-paced Ostwind or Panther 4 here versus Kimbo. And that can actually leave Kimbo in a pretty bad state. West side here, Lieutenant pushing for the fuel point there, very good. And we got a nice strong position in the east. Not going to hit 2 infantry squads plus the machine gun inside the building. It's going to be a bit tough there, for Kimbo to breach without artillery support or significant amount of firepower. Of course, the still light tank can somewhat deal with it, but that's going to be a bit slow. And of course, you might worry he could get hit by Pack 40 in the meanwhile. Though, worth noting, Kimbo does not have, or Noggano does not have a Pack 40, though he could always call in one Swift and crew it. Plus, of course, get another machine gun, which could actually be a big problem there for Noggano or Kimbo's infantry. Surprised he's just going for the Pack 40 rather than this. I mean, in terms of manpower, it's only like 80 manpower more directly. Of course, he has to then crew it, but even then, it gets fuel, munitions as well, plus an MG35. I mean, overall, it's a pretty damn good deal. So I'm slightly surprised here that Noggano is not just airdropping it in. Bit surprised there. Not a huge one, but I mean, most players who go for Osttruppen to an extent good because they get access to supply drops, so they can just skip ahead and sort of get fast forwards there. So I am a bit surprised there. I'm a bit surprised. Okay, he's going to get Panther fast, plus got the Pack 40 in the way there. Nice damage, and keep the 2-2 out of range of the stood light tank. Kimbo here's going to get punished. At the same time, going to big push on the car point here. We got Noggano flanking with Osttruppen. We could see a wiping Kimbo's retreating Rob squad as well there. Double whammy against Kimbo possibly here. Does he land it against the cover? And there you go. A wipe on Kimbo. Stood light tank here, trying to escape here through the base. Pack 40 hits the medic bunker. 2-2 bar is still operable here. Awesome machine with a flank hit behind Kimbo's force. And need to run the 5th caliber to deal with that. Popping out of the tank inside the base. What is Kimbo thinking? He's repairing it. And we got Pioneers. We have to burn the crew. Could Kimbo? There you go. Your boy's handing the over to Noggano. And he gets itself repaired. The Stuka had to go down now. Holy smokes. Talk about a save from Kimbo. At the same time, they still suffer heavily here. Awesome needs to go back to cover. They get suppressed by the 5th caliber. Oh, he got wiped then. 2-2 takes out this. But gets taken out by the Stuka, not the other round. That is some spectacularly furious action here between Kimbo and Noggano. Holy smokes. And we could see the 5th caliber going out here. There we go. He now has a 50 caliber away from Kimbo. Up here, MD4 Troopers and Stuart Light Tank. Needs to get the pack 40 up. Then he also needs to attack. Like the faster he can push advantage versus Kimbo, the better. In particular, now Kimbo suffered significant losses. Noggano, I think, should just push for the Supremo call. There we go, take and rush out something like an Ostrin, at which point he might just be able to break Kimbo. Then again, Kimbo's a tough and stubborn opponent, and it may in fact take even more than that to break Kimbo. The Juggernaut of Chicago. Obviously, I don't know if he's there. Probably not, but you know. He's playing against the Americans, so obviously can't come from, I don't know, Magnitogorsk. Ostrom needs to retreat. Lieutenant there with bars up. It's definitely effective for the Ostrom, but still they get the car point. And right now, Noggano has most of the map control here after some furious fighting between him and Kimbo. The 352nd Infantry Division proving itself to be a formidable fighting force against the Americans, who clearly underestimated the fighting strength of the Germans. Which they did several times during the war, really. Anyway, still going for the 5th machine gun there. Pack 40 turn around, but that was mostly after Normandy, really. Great here in the Stuart light tank. Punches right through the side. Will this be the end of the Stuart, or will live to see another day? There we go. Dodges the, well, avoids the shot, I would say. Less dodging there. Machine gun wiped out. Of course, Noggano still has the 5th car. Great here in the Stuart. Reasons me up. Probably steal the machine gun and turn against Noggano. Lieutenant being suppressed. Need to get this pack in position. Support up there for Noggano. Wunderbar. Kimbo's going to grab the point, while at the same time grab the machine gun, repairing his Stuart light tank. Nice multitasking there by Kimbo. Rierson's routed, of course, with the machine gun in tow. Lieutenant Ralph moving ahead, of course, with a lot of bars. Noggano's infantry is going to encounter some significant issues, since Ostrom with his barred up rifle are not particularly great even in cover. And obviously this is sort of one of the major weaknesses of the Ostrom. They scale incredibly poorly. Even with the light machine gun upgrade, it doesn't really significantly help them by the late game. So this is going to be a bit of a problem there for Noggano. And typically you'll want to get Pan's going to do at least the opposite of that, way, sort of, you know, give you more firepower on the move. And of course he needs to get up for armor fast. 5th Tactical Rifle Squad can go for the Panther 4 now, though. Honestly, at this stage I'd recommend an Ostrin. Like, he's been able to deny Kimbo so much fuel, keeping so much in the defensive. Like, he doesn't have a lot of counters, and Ostrin here is going to be absolutely beautiful for Noggano. Also, he's got a lot of munitions. Definitely should lay down some mines here. Also, typically what most players do, because they will get a lot of munitions floating. There we go. Ostrin for Noggano. Thumbs up. Captain out for Kimbo. Kimbo, of course, quite aware of where things are going. Oh, he actually took out the Stuart there through the hedges. Nice. Obviously, not for Kimbo and the Americans. For Kimbo and the Americans, it is anything but nice. I'm sure in the year 2023 there'll be a movie about that Stuart light tank, a tragic movie starring Brad Pitt. Anyways, troops reinforcing Ostrom machine moving ahead there. 5th copsing up dealing troops moving out there. Ostrom grabbed easily by the swarm of riflemen with bars in hand. Ostrom about to hit here for Noggano. Ralph's got their suppressed, taking damage. Kimbo, of course, is a fighter, unlike, well, many people. Unlike none. Machine having flanked the rear, needs to get that one out of there before it gets handed out to the Americans as well. Would be a bit awkward there for Noggano. And for the 352nd. Flak punch on those on the move. Kimbo has one anti-tank gun. Of course, he can also equip his rear with bazookas, and I'd likely expect that as a further response here to the arrival of the Austrian Flak Panzer. Going for another anti-tank gun. I mean, that also works. Flak Panzer racing through here. Kimbo's men in full disarray as the line collapses. The Austrian churns out death. 30 of them flank, they're hot on their heels. Anti-tank gets a great hit in the Austrian. Trying to get that wipe, but not quite landing it. the same time, got a flanking machine gun flanking, getting flanked by the Ostwind. Shooting on the west side here. Kimbo, of course, knows the best offense is the one where your opponent can't cover all the angles. So good work there. Of course, the Ostwind could rush in to maybe deal with that. Getting the machine gun out of there. Ostwind needs to get back for repairs. Season needs some fuel point again, this time using the 50 cal. Very good there. More Pioneers for Noggano to help the repairs. It's also a really good idea. Lieutenant flying back. Probably worried about the Ostwind here, and certainly that sort of also highlights just the power a piece of armor at the right time can have, since it can actually just, even if it isn't there, it can force your opponent to have to be more careful with the units, particularly the Ostwind, since it's very good at retreating, wiping retreating units, but also forcing them to retreat in the first place. And it's the fewest men who will stand around against an anti-aircraft tank and go, you know what? I want to stay. So we got 454 position 11. Kimbo certainly behind the victory points here. Noggano continues to exert beautiful and strong map control here versus Kimbo. Machine weapon in the center. We got anti-tanks going up here to support the different pushes. You'll probably have to try and take up soon. As for Noggano, he is going straight for tier 4. I mean, that's obviously an option though. Arguably, he could also just push for more Ostwinds, to be honest. Like 2 Ostwinds right now might be sufficient, just, you know, deal with Kimbo. But ultimately, I am not Noggano, and he's obviously a better player than me. But there, go directly bananating on the Ostwind Flak Puncher. Half health for Osttruppen there, need to retreat. Great hit there. Osttruppen in the center being suppressed. East side there, we got some heavy fire there from the Captain punching back the machine gun there. Still, Noggano continues to exert your strong control. And again, it may also just be he's faking with double fuel points, and again, denying Kimbo so much fuel, he may just be able to push forward. And arguably, it may also be because he wants to go for Sturmpanzer with these anti-tank guns, since the Sturmpanzer can typically deal with them reasonably well. That said, he's going to eat the heavy Panzer Corp. He can also begin equipping this Ostwind with light machine guns, and same with that much munitions floating about. He should, though again, it doesn't like add a ton to the Osttruppen. It still adds some, but not really, I think, to make them so, you know, a good unit to get in the late game. And to be honest, I figured it'd be better with, you know, something like, I don't know, Thompson's, or not Thompson, but submachine gun instead. I think that'd be a better pick there, personally. I think that'd make Ostwind strategies more viable. You can actually sort of turn them into, like, you know, cheap disposable assault troops late game. And machine gun turning with the captain. Ostwind in the rifle squad. Ostwind ahead, Ostwind into the Pioneers flying up the flamethrowers. He's clearly not worried about any mines from Kimbo. I mean, most American players never lay down mines in the first place. Captain taking hits, there we go. Bazooka team as expected. Fires a few rockets at the Ostwind. Machine gun inside the building, going to open up the advancing lieutenant. And we got a heavy artillery strike here from the railroad artillery gun on the machine gun here. Noggano decides it's time to save for the machine gun and to their armies. He does get away though. Loose the machine gun here, and that was the 50 cal there. Good push on the west side here. Noggano's trying to keep up now with Kimbo's pace. He's yet to build a heavy Panzer Corps either. Ostwind's also great for dealing with buildings. Not so much because they do damage to the occupants, but they really take out huge chunks of the building's health. And typically can actually just collapse buildings very rapidly and just take out the unit inside if your opponent isn't paying attention. So it's, I would say, another way of clearing out garrisons, by just collapsing the garrison on them. No machine gun there from Noggano. No heavy Panzer Corps yet. Triple Ostwind light machines open the retreating rifle squad. Even with that much damage and firepower, they're not doing that much in them, but still almost took out the unit. Need to fix up the flak panzer again. Heavy Panzer Corps going up there for Noggano. Still do think he would benefit a lot from mines. In fact, I'm very surprised that Noggano's not laid down a single, say, S-mine or telemine here versus Kimbo. There you go, around charging the Osttruppen, light machine guns blazing away, getting a few captured. The captain continues onwards there, taking advantage of the distraction of the rifle to get close and do some more damage to the Osttruppen. There we go, using on meat, which also boosts the rifle score there. Nice there, 2 thumbs up, bit of no look ability, but quite potent. And Ostwind there forced away, heavy casualties there, so they cannot match the sheer firepower of the men here with the BARs. Here's something at the east side here, clearing that up on any of Noggano's control. Major out, so Kim can actually begin pushing for tanks here versus Noggano, who's got the heavy Panzer Corps up. Picks up this flak panzer, we'll have to see what it goes for. Will it be the Sturmpanzer? Will it be a Panther? Will it be Panzer efforts? Though the fact he's not going for them right now could possibly indicate no, at least not right away. Returns pressed here by the MG42. Machine was the captain in the west. Troops reinforcing, sitting about. Ostwind once more mobilized. Captain suppressed. Note the way he's moving about the flag panzer. He's maybe looking to like catch units off guard, but also like get behind something. In this case, it actually has a good chance of getting behind the anti-tank. Though, note the way that Kimbo set it up. It actually is harder for the Austrians to get behind it. Though in this case, Kimbo just breaks, decides he cannot win at all. The Austrian can probably take it out. At which point, Noggano could steal and turn against Kimbo or destroy it. That's also an option. Pioneers moving ahead. Captain suppressed and routed. Could also be taken out with the Austrian retreat here. Big push here by Noggano on the flank. At least a sharp push. Not big, but certainly effective. And they're going to tank it out. And there you go. Captain also very likely to get wiped up. They've got the other tank moving up. Plus his troops here. Trying to grab the anti-tank. But in this case may not be enough. You all got the bar troops moving in there. Almost got the captain. But due to the invention there of Kimbo's other forces. Oh dear. Need to retreat the machine gun now. That was a misclick there. Mistake. He's going to lose that machine gun. Anti-tank cleared out. Osman also falling back here. Red Artillery called in, I think, a bit awkwardly there. Machine gun wiped. Oh dear, shouting the Ostwind. Oh dear, looks like Noggano might have flinched here. Costing him the Ostwind and an MG42, though can't quite grab that is Kimbo. Now the MG42 sitting up here. Going for the Sturmpanzer now, but now he might actually risk getting up against enemy armor. May actually have to consider a Panther instead. First. Or Stugs. Of course, you can always go for Stu to back it up. You get troops into, and again, now this is where the Osttruppen may begin to struggle more and more. Sees the Eastern South, at least giving up to move to support here in the west. Should remember to use the Incendiary RP as the machine gun, really good ability. Machine gun versus machine gun. It looks like Kimbo's machine gun is beating Noggano's, but there you go. No, gets it in the end. He can actually grab that one back as well there. Needs to do it very fast, actually. Destroying with the anti-tank, denying at least that one to Noggano. Swift reaction here by Kimbo. Lost the other machine gun though, so Noggano's down to just one machine gun again. And there goes Sturmpanzer on the weapon. Now Kimbo's going for the 76mm Sherman here versus Noggano. Heavy fighting there, heavy bleeding. Casualties piling up here as men die in the droves. Kimbo in the first arm division is finally able to call in the tanks to push against the Germans with the 352nd Infantry Division, which is meant to call in a Sturmpanzer from nearby Sturmpanzer Abteilung. As that is where Sturmpanzer are typically organized into these assault tank battalions or detachments. I believe 3 of them, and there was like some smaller companies spread out here and there. Pack 40 almost done there for Noggano. Ground the western point. He's clearly realizing he might have to deal with some more armor. Sherman done there for Kimbo. Troops reinforcing, healing, preparing for the next big push. We got 323 on 82. Eastern points being seized. Strong punch being hit. Trenches here in the center now by Kimbo. Oh, Noggano, not Kimbo. They could be claimed by Kimbo, but even then they're not by Kimbo. Strong punch being pushed back here by the Sherman. Unable to fight that one. Good hit on the Raft Squad there. Bazooka teams, though, get off a few hits on the Sturmpanzer. Pearson's rather moving ahead here. Bring up the anti-tank guns. Austin looking like they're going to occupy the trench in the centre. Got another trench here by the victory point here. Another machine gun there from Noggano, certainly keeping a certain amount of machine guns there under control. It's not surprised he hasn't bothered the supply drop. That'd be cheaper than going for an anti-tank and a machine gun more, plus give some active fuel and munitions for other stuff. S-mount going off, but he's laying down mines now, which is really good. He was definitely, I think, a bit slow on that one, but better late than never, as they say. Better late than never. Losing western fuel point again here to Kimbo. Those men have taken several casualties. Got the Austin flanking of Ralph Squad pushed back. They decide not to risk it with how poor the condition is. Could he get a wipe with the Ostrum? With a lot of machine guns? No. The answer to that is none. We got the Ostrum as the captain. Closing them down. And turns up in the trench. Machine moving ahead here. Back here. Troops reinforcing healing. Sturmpanzer being fixed up there for Noggano. Trench collapses under withering anti-tank on fire. The ground crumbles before the might of Americans' anti-tank gunnery. Shooting at the lieutenant. Anti-tank is moving up there ready to repel any American armored assault under Kimbo's command. Smoking off here from Kimbo Sherman. Preparing for an assault there. Nice. Thumbs up. At least it looks like preparation for an assault. But may not be. Austin find their cover crumbled. Sturmpanzer moving ahead again here. We're not going to go for the mighty Sturmgeschütz. Will he try and stall for a Panther? Or will he go for Panzer Force? Sturmpanzer shoots through the smoke. Rearson retreat. Hearing the incoming thunder. They decide to get out there before the German lightning strikes. Osman sends us the advancing rifle squad. More push here from Kimbo. In the centre, but he's forced to give away on the right flank here. As Noggano's pushing up there, there's Pioneers think they're quickly getting extended and risking getting wiped out here by Kimbo. Sturmpanzer takes a hit here, 3 kills, plus veterans 1. Awesome, continuing the fight here. Captain charging at them. Down to 2 men. Rifle squad almost taken out. Shot bounced. Bit like there for Noggano. Another Sherman there for Kimbo, and Noggano is certainly finding himself more fought to a standstill here by Kimbo. Awesome killing the western points there, very good. Got 323 versus 109. They got this Sherman halfway down there. You can use the captain volley to supervise production, speed it up, but the captain is busy elsewhere. Another machine gun there for Noggano. Takes out the Sturmpanzer 4. Got also with the advancing lieutenant machine gun opening up there as well on the advancing gentleman there. Gaining veterans 1. 100 points left here for Kimbo. Moving on the west side, we can actively flank the machine gun, proving grenades from Kimbo. We do not. Let's take it actually clear out the machine gun inside the trenches and can't fire back. Sherman for the center, need to pack 40s up there, and the Sherman's going to deal with the rifle squad inside the building. There, the quick gets out there as he sees it. Double hitting the Sherman there, punching it down to half health. Anti-tanks moving up here under Kimbo's command to try and deal with the Sturmpanzer. Machine gun smoked out entirely, sitting above here, and oh, decent hit the rifle squad. Does a lot of damage, gets no kills, got veterans 1. And the Sturmpanzer opening up here for the bunker busting barrage. Less used for busting bunkers and just used for busting, you know, anything else that happens to be quite squishy, in fact. We got 323 versus 90. Kimbo's certainly in a tight spot in terms of victory points, but he is building up a significant amount of armor here versus Noggano, who is not quite as well equipped there at the moment. Kimbo finding his right side once more, giving way to the Germans of the 352nd Infantry Division as he's mastering the reserves of the 1st Armored Division to push through and defeat the Krauts. And there you go. Noggano caught in an ill-fated anti-tank movement, allowing Kimbo to sneak in, then perhaps do some damage. Sturmpanzer shoots, misses. Anti-tank gets a hook there. We've got rifle gun flanking the anti-tank gun. And if he gets a second one, that's going to be bad news. He's got smoke on the huge blob of Osttruppen, or blob and massive Osttruppen, and the rifle squad, that pack being crewed up, but they're still caught in the smoke. Got the Sherman up here. Really bad one here for Noggano. The lack of armor is hurting him so much. And there go both anti-tanks that are awesome to make a move for it, but even then they're just getting wiped out here. This is a disastrous development here, and Kimbo has managed to perhaps deliver a crippling blow now to Noggano, who's going for another anti-tank, when in reality he probably should just be going for Stooges now. Like, he's probably trying to go for the Panther, but the problem is at this point, Kimbo can easily just begin holding in more tanks. At that point, the problem with the Panther is it cannot match all of these tanks in firepower. That's really like the major issue with the Panther. It just does not have enough firepower to match a lot of tanks. So while he might be going for the Panther, problem is by that point, again, Kimbo will have 3 Shermans, and then Noggano has 1 Panther, and it's just going to get shot to pieces. He did get the anti-tank guns. Nice flank there, and railway artillery. Thumbs up there to Noggano. In fact, 2 thumbs up, but you're still going to trouble here versus these Shermans. There we go, 1 anti-tank and utterly shattered. But the L1 can be crewed here. We got 310 versus 90. Pack 40 up it again. Kimbo just dies on the Sherman, begins cleaning up the crew up close. Smokes in here from the other one. Gets it though. Nice work there by Noggano. We got 310 versus 90. Pack 40 about to get wiped out there. Sturmpanzer being repaired here. Destroy it. Leaving Noggano once more with that anti-tank. Of course, crushing anyone trying to get close. He's threatening to do that. There we go. He can't get close to it. He can't. There we go. Anti-tank and destroy. Leaving now Noggano once more with the Sturmpanzer also bleeding out. So again, it becomes hard for him to save up manpower to go for the Panther. Meanwhile, Kimbo's just going for more tanks because his tanks are drawing all the attention to him. He's really suffering a lot. German getting eventually 2 got a motion down here to car up there. Throwing it down the captain. East side here we got the captain and the Rathford here versus the Osttruppen. They'll have to retreat soon. They're going to get wiped. 293 versus 90. And there you go, Osttruppen routed out. Leaving the last victory point now here to Kimbo and the 1st Armoured. Osttruppen was called annihilated. He's down to 2 machine guns, so Osttruppen Pioneer Squad and the Sturmpanzer 4. I mean, Kimbo's forces have suffered significant damage as well, but he's all now in a better position. You know, he's got better force composition. Finally, he doesn't have to pay as much for his tanks again. That is actually a pretty big deal. Like, the Panther just costs so much that if you want to go for it, you really just have to like put your economy in hold for quite a bit of while. Tends to make it rather prohibitive, particularly if you're not in like, you know, winning position. If you're in a winning position, you might as well just go for more other stuff. But there you go, Panther away from Noggano. The Panzerkampfwagen 5 will arrive in time to assist the 352nd Infanterie Division here versus Kimbo. Shelling up here. Sturmpanzer almost good to go. Another entertainment here ready for Kimbo, just in case. Just in case. Flanking the machine here with the Sherman. Almost got the 5th cal ready here. Going for the Sturmpanzer with it. Shot bounced. Flanking the Sturmpanzer. 2nd Sherman in as well there. Looking to finish it off here, perhaps before Noggano gets any other armor out. Or any other anti-tank weapons. Got down to less than half of Shermans they're missing. Damage taking the Sherman. Sturmpanzer down. Noggano's Panther's about to hit, but the question is, will it be able to do anything? Well, he's sufficient. There you go. Panther's going up with the Sherman. Penetrating the hit here. Switching back to HVAP just as he switched away from anti-tank on the move there. Other Sherman trying to get away, and that looks like it happened successfully. And there you go. Panther round front to 2 anti-tankers. There you go. Firing armor piercing rounds as well there. And the Panther's about to get knocked out here. Shot bounced. Sherman goes for it. Panther bounces the shot. Still, will it be enough? Like, it's going to take forever to repair that. And he dives into the base here with the ace Sherman. The Sherman misses spectacularly. It's almost like he did it on purpose. There you go. Panther down. Ace Sherman there. A real Brad Pitt took it out. And there you go. GG game up. A furious and spectacular fight here on Langraskaya between 2 excellent players. See some real great play for both sides, and then the Noggano probably should just gone for more support, more cut before continuing. Hey, Penscore, like I feel like just going relying on the Osman was a bit much because of the way they lost it then, and then again, like he should have at least gone for a Panther who's more ready for enemy armor. The Sturmpanzer just left him more, you know, isolated with the anti-tank gun. So overall, well played by Kimbo. Also great play by Noggano, but in the end, he just didn't have the mid-select game transition too well, and Kimbo was able to just punish him for that beautifully. But still, some great play there from both sides, some spectacular maneuvers, and all that stuff. So I hope you enjoyed this match. I hope you learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment on it, tell friends, tell family. Don't tell enemies. This is Imperial Links and cheers. Thank you for watching. I'll see you tomorrow again for a nice episode. Bye.